what is it that can help you? Another one of my kind of non-negotiables is that when I'm done, whether he's achieved his climax or not, I don't owe him that.
I love that.
He can masturbate.
Yes.
And they do all the time.
Yeah.
And I support his masturbatory practice.
Right.
I want him to have that. It supports his prostate health long term.
Yes.
Right? Men who ejaculate more frequently live longer.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Seasons podcast. I am Daniela Climaco, mom, wife, entrepreneur, and now podcast host. I am so excited to welcome you to this space. This is a space for the good, the bad, the beautiful, the messy, unfiltered, everything to do with womanhood, the raw. And I'm so excited today because I think this is such an important topic. We have today Susan Bratton,
Yes.
and she is the intimacy coach to millions. And I think that this is the space for us to get at it. I can't wait. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Daniela. I think we should call this the spicy seasons.
Ooh, I love it. The spicy seasons. Yes, because we go through all of them. I love
Right.
that. We're gonna headline that, the spicy seasons. I love that so much. Thank you for coming.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
for coming all the way.
Yeah.
I want to start because I need to know, how did you begin this incredible, I think, venture? I think intimacy coach is incredible.
Yeah.
There's not enough talk about intimacy in general.
Yeah.
In just tell me everything. I'm so excited.
So I do want to say that I'm not actually a coach.
Okay.
I'm intimacy expert to millions. That's my
Fantastic.
title.
Oh, I love it.
And the reason that it is because I don't do one-on-one. I'm not a therapist.
Fair.
I'm not meeting with individuals.
Okay.
What my business is, I'm an author of and a publisher of passionate lovemaking techniques,
it.
bedroom communication skills,
Okay.
and intimate wellness information.
I love that.
You kind of think about those as the three legs of the stool that is required for a really good sex life
Yes.
that keeps getting better
Yes.
the older you get.
I love that.
And I'm 64 now,
Okay.
and I'm having the best sex of my life
Oh my
with
God.
my husband of 34 years.
Incredible.
My orgasms have never been better. My yoni, and this is a word that I like to introduce fairly early in an interview
Yes.
with women because I think it's a beautiful word.
Yeah.
YONI. Have you heard it?
I have.
Yes.
I have, yes.
A lot of women haven't. And it's a word that I like to give as kind of like your first vocabulary word today. Because for a lot of women, we use slang words for our genitals.
Yes.
Or we use like medical words like vagina.
Correct.
But the problem is that vagina to me is only a small part of our entire urogenital system.
I love that.
And I feel like it's the part that men want access to more than any other part of our
Okay.
body.
Yes.
And so it feels patriarchal to me.
Okay.
I like yoni, YONI.
love
It's a
it.
tantric lovemaking word.
Yes.
And it's very holistic and comprehensive. It's all of our genital structures.
I love that.
The clitoral structure, urethral structure, perineal structure, the vaginal cavern, the bladder,
The labia,
outer
yeah.
labia, the
Incredible.
clitoral hood, the mons venus, the fourchette, which is the little place where the inner labia come down and meet at the bottom near the perineum.
Okay, I did not know that word.
The French have a word for everything. Yeah. And so when I say yoni, it's even more than just all the parts.
Yeah.
It's the spiritual aspect
Yeah.
of the root of our power and pleasure.
I love that.
And so I like that a lot, yoni, YONI. And I also like
Yes.
that it kind of sounds like my little yoni.
Yes.
Which I think is really cute
That
too.
is
So
really
it's like a
cute.
sweet word.
It is.
A lot of women call it their kitty or their flower or things like that.
Right.
And those are great too. So what I do for a living is I create books and programs, the work of my own
Amazing.
and the work of my mentors, because not everybody's going to go to a therapist. Not everybody's going to get a coach.
You're right.
But anybody can access online information.
Yes.
So essentially what I do is I produce educational content that teaches you how to have passionate lovemaking that keeps getting better as you age.
Incredible.
Because if you think about it, it's no different than playing a musical instrument or cooking or any kind of mastery.
Yes.
We think that sex is, like we should know how to do it. Well, we know how to make babies. That's
right.
pretty easy. Tab A into slot B and you can procreate.
Correct.
It's sometimes a little too easy.
Yes.
But that's not lovemaking. That's not sex that keeps getting hotter. And the other distinction that I like to make too is that I kind of feel like what I do is create the antidote to pornography.
Ooh, I love that.
Because if you look at all of the depictions of sex, if you think about it as sex, and most people think about sex as intercourse and everything else as foreplay,
correct,
which I also think is wrong.
Okay.
Right? I think that oral pleasuring, kissing, breast pleasuring, full body touch, words of adoration, all of these things that we love to do are equally important, especially for the female body. But in all honesty, I feel like men are shortchanged by the way our sexuality is portrayed as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because men want loving touch and heart connection and looking in each other's eyes and really good kissing and those kinds of things.
Right.
So when I teach what I teach through just on downloadable programs, videos, audios, ebooks, instructional materials.
I subscribe to your emails.
Oh, good.
I do.
They're good. I give away tips all the time.
Incredible. We'll be linking it, but incredible stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's so important you hit on such important things for me, for my audience, in general. And we were kind of talking a little bit behind the scenes, especially for me. I don't like to speak so much for others, but I'm sure that's where this comes from. I'm 37, but really just now, like because of trauma, because of being exhausted, because of postpartum, really relearning how to enjoy sex, but for myself as well. Yes. Which in turn turns on your husband or your partner and like, wow, we're enjoying this. Because otherwise it's very monotonous. It's we're always doing the same thing in the same position. And, I know what to expect. Or sometimes like it used to not feel good and I wouldn't say anything. Right. And then I wouldn't look forward to it. And then he could tell and it was just a mess. Yep. And like, I've been through it all, and I'd love for you, I'm sure, because I've seen a lot of your products like vaginal dryness, and I've heard, you mention it also, but like foreplay throughout the whole day, sweet text messages, messages of adoration, talking, doing things around the house, being a team, making the woman feel supported. And I agree with the pornography because a lot of teenage boys and girls think that's what sex is.
Not just teenagers. Now people in their 20s, 30s, 40s.
Are just finding it?
Well, not just finding it. We've grown up with it.
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
We've grown up with it, and that's all there is. Because what's really interesting? So one of the things that I'm working on right now is a documentary.
Okay.
It's the placeholder title for it is Behind Closed Doors.
Beautiful.
And what it's basically about is this place we found us where everything is porn oriented, porn infused. Like that's the set point of sexuality in our culture. And Time Magazine, about a couple of years ago, had a really interesting article where there was a researcher that did a random sampling of 350 porn clips.
Okay.
And identified 96% of them as being degrading to women.
I believe it.
And so the problem is that and movies and television are really from the same playbook as porn. It's porn light.
Yes.
And getting heavier.
Yep.
And the problem is that none of that shows what women need or want. And so it's not men's fault that they look at sex as, I'm supposed to have intercourse. I'm supposed to get an erection. I'm supposed to penetrate her. It's supposed to feel good to both of us. But the problem is we don't learn anything else. And frankly, the intercourse that we see It is very much what a penis wants
Yes.
and not at all what a vagina wants 90% of the time.
I agree.
And so they never see
Yeah.
what we need. And then you end up in the bedroom, the blind leading the blind.
Yep.
And it's partially because it's contributed by a couple things. One is that porn is easily accessible,
Yep.
but passionate lovemaking information is shadow banned, censored. I can't advertise.
How interesting.
And I don't want to advertise in porn.
Right.
That's like, I'm the opposite of
Yes.
it. I'm the heart-connected, passionate lovemaking lady, you know? And so that's one thing. But sex educators. So one of the other things that I do, we're a lot alike where we do a number of things and we do
Yes.
them really well. I also run a business mastermind for
Okay.
other sexperts who are coming up behind me because I've been doing this for decades.
Okay.
And helping them. There's 50 of us in my mastermind.
That's
and
incredible.
we're collaborating and cross-promoting and, helping each other grow.
That's beautiful.
Because we are constantly shadow banned and censored. So you can get all the porn access you want,
That's
but you can't
wild.
get information from me.
That's wild.
I know. Podcasting is it is the only uncensored medium for now, fingers crossed,
know.
that we can
you
have
kind of
real,
hide it in there.
we can have real conversation.
Absolutely.
That is so vital and healing. And so I'd say in the last 10 years especially, there's been a lot of burgeoning awareness by all parties, not just women, that the kind of sex that we're having is very dissatisfying. And the problem is that when it's not good for even one of you, you stop having it.
Yes.
And when something happens like erectile dysfunction or what have you, and a person's not aware that it can be reversed
Yes.
with regenerative therapies
Right.
like Gainswave. I just visited them yesterday.
Incredible.
Gainswave is this acoustic wave treatment that is applied to the genitals.
I saw that. Yes. I
And-
did a lot of research on that. It's incredible what they have to offer.
It reconstitutes the tissue that atrophies over
Yes.
time, both
Yes.
in male and female
Oh,
genital
wow.
structures.
Okay.
So it works
Yeah.
for women too. And that's another thing I don't like. I mean, I have a lot of things I like to complain about. Thank you for listening to me because, if I bring my awareness to what I don't think is right for women, it helps all women see.
Yes.
Because the other thing I don't like is like intravaginal lasers and RF devices that only regenerate the vaginal lining, but do nothing for our labia or our clitoral structures.
Okay.
Like, what's that all about?
Right.
Like, the only thing that matters is the vagina that you're entering.
Right.
No, our clitoris is really important and it atrophies too. So that's why I always mention Gainswave if people are like painful sex, loss of lubrication, loss of sensation, difficulty orgasming,
wow.
vanishing labia, vanishing clitoris, these are incontinence.
Yes.
These are the things that women struggle with, especially postpartum
Yes.
and during menopause and perimenopause.
Right.
So when you have good working tissue and the pleasure is there, and then you begin to use all the different toys that I recommend to cross-train and activate, you actually expand your orgasmic intensity, pleasure,
Amazing.
the ways you can experience
Yeah.
orgasm. They're all learned skills. Going
Yes.
back to it's just like cooking. You get better, you get more
What a
skill,
great
you get
analogy, yeah.
more experience.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's a really important thing to know as well, is that everything that we see is based on the male gaze, and it's hurting us all. And that's what my film is about. My film is about waking people up to the fact that in our culture, the sexperts who are teaching lovemaking techniques and heart-centered pleasuring skills are shadow banned and censored,
That's
but
just
porn
wild.
is ubiquitous, and all the movies and TV are derivative of pornography. So we continue to do women
Yep.
and our partners a disservice.
Absolutely.
And so it's the kind of, okay, what do we do? That's what the film is supposed to do. It's actually
Yes.
called an impact documentary.
I love that.
Because the idea of an impact documentary is that you don't just watch it,
Yeah.
it changes your life.
Yes.
Then you're like, oh gosh, I didn't realize that, but it makes total sense to me. And I want to learn what to do. Where do I go for that? And so I'm building a series of educational modules that are kind of a companion to the film so that when people become aware, there's something there for them so that they can learn step by step orgasmic intercourse techniques that the vagina likes to have, not just the penis. Oral pleasuring that feels good to women, not the way men approach it. The way men approach it. I mean, some women, they can make that work.
Yeah.
But if they knew what would feel good to our bodies, it changes everything.
Yeah.
You know, if I had $1 for every time someone said to me, oh, I don't like 69. Or I don't like oral, or I can't have an orgasm from intercourse.
Yeah.
I would be a gazillionaire.
That is
and my
wild,
answer is, you haven't had it good yet.
Right.
It's all so amazingly delicious and beautiful. And it can be everything from highly erotic to incredibly ecstatic to blissful to connect you to God. I mean,
yes.
you know, and here's one more thing. While I'm complaining,
Please.
I'm on a roll, Daniela.
Please tell us.
The other thing that I talk a lot about, that's why I'm here,
Yes.
and I'm so happy to come on your show. I'm
so
here
happy
in
to have you.
Miami because I spoke at the Biohackers World Conference in Ritz-Carlton in South Beach this week. And my subject matter was how to extend your sex span to extend your health span.
I love that.
Because your intimacy is the fourth factor of your longevity. And everybody talks about your Aura Ring score. You know, what's your sleep score?
Got
You're
one
gonna wear
too.
yours. What's your sleep score? You know, how much can you know, are you doing your strength training and your flexibility and your balance? What's your food intake? Are you eating enough fiber and leafy green vegetables and getting your protein macros and all this stuff?
Exactly.
But what about the fourth factor, which is intimacy?
And no one talks about it.
Nope.
And that is the beauty of this space and having women like you, because it's taboo. And that's, you know, you're breaking that.
That's repression.
Yes.
One more way we are controlled as women is through lack of sexual literacy, lack of bodily autonomy, and sexual repression.
Yeah.
Because our sexuality, when it is on fire, like I am a selfishly sexually expressed woman who is powered by my orgasms.
Incredible.
And I am a dangerous woman in the eyes of many men because I cannot be controlled.
I can't imagine.
I have my personal power.
That's amazing.
And I have my vitality and I have my
That's a great
creativity.
word.
And I live in turn on. I live a turned on life. If women lived a turned on life and got the pleasure that we deserved, everyone would be happier, but it's a control mechanism.
Interesting.
I don't want to be controlled anymore, do you?
Yeah, no.
Does anyone listening to your show?
No.
Nobody.
Nobody.
We're not going to be controlled anymore.
Amen.
It's too late.
It is.
Yeah. This is the last hurrah happening in our culture right now
I love
for
it.
that.
Thank you for
Especially
that.
as women got financial parity.
Yes.
Educational parity.
Yeah.
Now more women are going to, you know, it's interesting. I was reading a social media post. I don't even remember who posted it, but she said, it's going to be really interesting now that men are going to college less than women. I wonder what they're going to think about when they all work for us. And I'm like,
it's true.
Very interesting. Right?
That is such a good point.
I'm the CEO of 2 companies, right?
As am I, yeah.
Yeah, you are too.
I am.
And it's like, we really do need to help our men understand that they've been screwed over too.
Yes. And you know, it's such a good point because it's kind of twofold. A lot of the younger generation or older generation, just men in general, haven't been given the space to be vulnerable, to question, am I pleasing my woman? Because it is, they think they should be getting it all. And they're, you know, unfortunately, and I'd love to talk about this, it's usually more one-sided because the men are more turned on or the men are more activated or horny or whatever it may be, because they're not going through hormonal shifts, having babies, postpartum, recovering, you know, being pulled in 50 million directions by the kids, by the home, by the, you know, business, if you're a business owner.
Right.
Even if you're working, doesn't matter if you own the business or not, but working, being a wife, being a mom, finding any kind of pleasure, releasing stress. And that's what I hear when I hear you. It's a stress reliever. But it becomes a job. And I found that for so many years for a lot of women. Yes, let's fix that because it becomes, this is just what we have to do. And this is how we make a baby, like you just said.
Right, that's totally separate.
And that, but like a lot of religions teach that it's just for baby making. So we're brainwashed very young. And then another thing that I want to get into, a lot of women, including myself, have a lot of shame or uncertainty with masturbation, with figuring out what we like. Therefore, you can't offer it to your partner, man, woman, whomever, and you're stuck. So not only are you not orgasming, you don't even know how your body does it. How can you help someone else? And then everyone's frustrated. And that's what I find. That's the biggest conversation that I have with most women. I'm not in the mood because I'm exhausted. I'm overtouched, overstimulated.
Right.
And it doesn't even feel good.
That is huge too, Daniela, the overtouched and overstimulated by your children. And if you have a grabby husband who's just grabbing to get sex, that's infuriating.
That is a beautiful point. And someone else, maybe it was on social media where I spoke to someone, such a good point that it's back to that. It's what feels good for them, what turns them on, but not thinking, okay, maybe my wife is overtouched, overstimulated. Maybe a nice massage instead of a rub of the boob.
You can be really, really overtouched and overstimulated. You have to be super overtouched and stimulated to turn down a foot rub.
Exactly. That's beautiful. A head rub, a foot rub, a shoulder rub. Draw me a bath.
This is
clean
where
the
it
kitchen.
starts. Exactly.
You know, but it's so interesting because there's that huge disconnect of what it is, how to please a woman. Forget sex. Sex is just like, and you said it, it's just the end. But there's so much more. And then honestly, like I know from experience and speaking to the women, then there's a lot of animosity, I guess is a good word.
And avoidance.
Avoidance. That's a great word. You know, pretending to be asleep.
Duty booty. Mercy sex.
Yes. Literally. And it's just like, oh, it's you know, we scheduled it. Today's the day.
And then you're just a vessel for the, you know,
the term that I hate, but a lot of men use, a cum bucket. Have you heard of that one?
I was trying to behave, and
I mean, you don't have to because I don't like it, but a lot of men see it that way, and it's so unfortunate because it's not. It's disgusting, and it's degrading.
It is.
But to both sides, like back to the porn, that's how they see it. It's like a jackrabbit kind of intercourse thing. And they come, they're thrilled. Exactly.
Grab a boob and stick it in. Correct. That's what I call it.
That's right. And they're you know, they came, they feel good, great, and then we're chopped liver. And then either go finish ourselves off or don't ever. And that sucks. So tell us, help us, help my audience fix it. Because I know that you are. Pick something that I said and give us your knowledge.
Let me take it up to like the 10,000 foot perspective and give you the big picture of the things that begin to make a difference for women to move into their pleasure.
Please.
And so one thing is to understand what's going on can really help fix things. Most women think there's something wrong with them. They think, oh, my libido is dead.
Yeah, or we're broken. We literally feel broken. That was me for years. And I wanted to take this supplement or that lube. And then I would get yeast infections. And then that was a nightmare because I was using the wrong things. So, I mean, I personally have been through it all.
Yes. And most women have. This is what is going on with us.
And young women. It's unfortunate.
But the good news is that you can move through this by learning things.
Incredible.
And then you can have really good sex. And so there's always a silver lining to these, you know, conversations about what we've been through.
Yes, of course.
Because we have to lay it down and let other women know that they're not alone.
Absolutely.
And that we've been there.
Absolutely.
We've all been there. I think that is very important. So one thing that I want to get through to women, because you really can't move on to learning techniques that feel good until you get through these first two gates.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, it's very similar to female arousal. Female arousal requires a lot of heavy lifting to get going. And once we're going, we are wild tigresses.
Amazing.
And for men, they get going very quickly, but they peter out fast.
Sure do.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
So we're really kind of on the opposite, tempos.
Yes.
Men are testosterone driven. They have nighttime erections. They wake up with morning wood. They're ready to go. They'll drop trow in an elevator if you offer them sex. They're built pretty much ready to go if they're healthy.
Yeah.
But women, because we're estrogen dominant, and estrogen is the molecule of multitasking. You know how when you ask Leo to do something and he's already doing something, he's like, honey, don't bother me. I can't do two things at once. You know that. That's okay because they're wonderful and single-minded. And that's why a male-female pair bond is such a lovely thing, because we've got kind of the best of both worlds.
Right.
So for women, Dr. Beverly Sasson coined this concept where men are spontaneously aroused.
Yes.
They can just...
Like a breeze.
Yeah, exactly.
A
breeze blows, which is great.
I mean,
it's awesome. They're ready to serve.
When I was not in my femininity and I thought I was broken, I would have given anything to feel that way. I was like, how lucky.
Right.
And I couldn't figure out literally for months, years, like what was wrong with me. But there wasn't. I mean, once you, I guess for me, it's twofold. And I'd love for you to talk about women who are suffering, because I suffered a lot from vaginal dryness, but I found out that it had to do with antidepressants and
that does it.
Birth control.
Yeah, birth control.
And I literally just came off a couple months ago, and
good.
I feel like a new woman.
Back. Good.
Which is sad, though. That makes me so sad because
why do they prescribe these things to us?
Welcome to America.
I know.
Well, we're the ones that have to be on birth control because God forbid, it's our fault.
Right.
And then we're stuck with all of these things in our body, which I found out also that probably was helping me be on these antidepressants and anti-anxiety. So I was in a snowball effect.
Yes.
And then, of course, I didn't have a strong libido, which also makes you depressed.
Yes, it does.
And it's just sad. And I wanted this space, and I'm so excited that you're here because so many women are literally at home and going to listen to this and be like, wow, that's me right now.
Yeah.
So how do we bring them into their sexy season?
Yes.
I love that.
I like it too. Spicy season.
Spicy season.
Like spicy seasoning.
I love that so much.
Men are this spontaneous desire, and they get aroused very quickly, and they're ready to go.
Right.
And we've been forced to move at their time frame.
Good
But
point.
if we get men to understand what our time frame is and that it's different, that our bodies are different than theirs, and then they slow down. Like when guys are like, what's the number one thing that, what's the number one sex technique? I say, slow down, turn around, and come back and get us.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, we don't need to go on the pace of your erection.
Yes.
You can get hard, go soft, get hard again.
Yep.
And if you can't, go get Gainswave, right? Like we talked about that already.
Right.
Like if you're flagging, fix it. But don't force us to be penetrated before we're ready.
Yes.
Because we have what's called responsive desire. This is Dr. Sasson's construct, which I love.
Makes so much sense.
Responsive desire is what you were saying. Clean up the dishes after I cooked. Give me a foot rub. Give me a glass of wine and ask me how my day was.
Yes.
Hold me.
Yes.
Let me get out of my head and into my body.
So important.
Stroke my full body.
Yes.
Kiss my cheeks.
Yes.
Tell me you love me. Tell me how smart I am. Tell me how beautiful I am. When a man knows how to do those things, we can finally get out of our head, because estrogen dominant women, we are not estrogen dominant in a bad way. We are all estrogen dominant, not testosterone dominant.
Right.
We are the prey. And so when you are fight or flight mode all the time, because you don't walk safely in this world, and you've got all these task switching jobs that you do, it takes us a lot longer. And then add to that, this is why women aren't broken. They just don't understand themselves. In a male body, if you think about the penis being a banana,
Yes.
about half that banana sticks out of his body and half is in and down toward his testicles. And the entire banana of tissue in his body is erectile tissue, sponges.
Wow.
There's 3 sponges in the penis.
Okay.
But they're like pencils. They're these long tubes.
Yeah.
And when he sees your boobs, he gets erect super quickly.
Yes.
Because the blood runs from his body. It squeezes into his penis because it has to squeeze in fast to lock off for an erection.
Right.
And so he gets hard quickly.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. And if you're in this, sex is for, procreation, it's the only thing that sex is intercourse, instead of, we love to hold and kiss and do yoni massages and have oral pleasuring. And we like to make love. We like to do all the things. We like to use toys. We like to take breaks. We like to just relax and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
When you move from the male tempo to the female tempo, she needs about 20 to 30 minutes to get the same amount of spongy tissue that she has in her yoni full of the same blood that he gets in a minute or 2.
I wish more men knew that. 30 minutes at least.
Everybody.
It's the truth. At least.
And it's 30 minutes if you don't have lovemaking and this is called engorgement.
Okay.
It's like getting a clitoral erection.
Yep.
But it's actually 3 different spongy complexes that wrap around the vagina like a bracelet, like a spongy bracelet is wrapped around the vagina.
Yep.
And the small ones on the bottom fill last. And so the clitoris might get erect first. Then the clitoral arms and the clitoral legs. The legs are underneath the labia. And then the G spot is not a spot. It's a long tube. It's called the urethral sponge. That starts to fill with blood.
Yep.
And the perineal sponge underneath the vagina, on the bottom of the vagina, between the vagina and the rectum, that starts to fill with blood. So once you get turned on, and what really helps is kissing and breast and nipple play.
Okay.
There's like a 3-legged stool there too, where the genital structures, the breast tissue and the nipple tissue, and the mouth, the lips, the tongue, the throat, the tip of the nose, the sides of the neck, they all stimulate the blood to flow to the pelvic bowl.
Yeah. You feel seen. I think that's how women feel seen. Kiss me, touch me, stroke my neck, know my spots.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's like, oh, you again. Okay, great. I guess we're doing this.
Right. It's like a battering ram.
30 seconds.
Ramming down the door.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I love that it's true. Like that's how you feel seen. There's more to my body.
Yeah.
And that shows intimacy.
Yeah.
When touching, kissing, holding hands. And a lot of us, are just not used to that or don't have the model for it. Like, I come from a single family home and, so I didn't see, loving parents. So some people have that. A lot of people don't.
Most people don't.
And then it's funny because I notice more people point out on the street like, oh, look at them holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's so lovely.
Yeah.
That's not the norm.
Yeah.
And we don't make that the norm. And that's where it starts. And it's usually older couples that you see holding hands. So I always try now to grab the hand because I like it too.
Me too.
But it's still sometimes like, oh, we look dumb in the street. We're holding hands.
Really?
Sometimes.
No, that's what people need. It's very
love that. But I think
cathartic
that
for us.
comes with the not feeling comfortable being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And when you're not in touch as a man with your feminine side and the vulnerability, you can't really offer that to your partner, I feel. And not every man, I guess you can speak to it also, cares, unfortunately. How do you work with men like that or partners that say it's really lopsided and I don't know how to get my man on board?
More and more.
Yeah.
I'm hearing from the women who follow me that their husbands aren't interested in sex. It used to be 20 years ago, it was pretty much men who were frustrated with their female partners not wanting sex anymore.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say it's not 50-50. It's maybe like 80-20.
Wow.
Where it used to be like 95-5. So it's creeping up. And I think that's the endocrine disruptors lowering men's testosterone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And I know a lot of more men are on, testosterone, HRT, all of these.
I take testosterone. It's
I mean,
fantastic. I love it.
That's fantastic. Tell me.
Yeah. So I have been taking bioidentical hormone replacement for 20 years now, in my 40s. When I was about 45, I started taking progesterone.
Okay.
I topped up my progesterone, helped with my sleep, etc. And then I started adding in estrogen.
Okay.
And then in my 50s, until my late 50s, I was mostly just on estrogen and progesterone. And I've continued to menstruate. I keep my hormones topped up to the point where I still bleed every month.
Okay.
And I like that. A lot of women are like, why would you want to do that? Well, aren't you glad to be through menopause?
No.
But I'd like to sustain my menstruation for as long as I can because I don't mind menstruating.
Right.
I like it, and I'm trying to maintain my ovarian health. And although, of course, there are no studies that are a direct correlation of menstruation lengthening for ovarian health, the Buck Institute of Longevity, Dr. Jennifer Garrison, has done a lot of studying that our ovaries are a master hormone and communication system that do much more than just help us make babies.
Yeah,
of course.
I believe that, of
right?
course, right.
So I just want to keep menstruating as long as I can because I feel like if the system is functioning, the ovaries are probably doing pretty well too.
Yes.
Now, I don't think I could conceive a child. I don't use any birth control. I don't worry about that. But then I'm going to say between 6 and 10 years ago, probably around 6 or 7 years ago, I started using testosterone.
Okay.
I started applying it to my clitoral structures.
Oh, so topically.
On a compounded cream.
Okay,
yes.
awesome.
And I really liked it. And I've added more and more testosterone as I've aged.
Okay.
I really like how it gives me single-minded focus.
Okay.
It's really good for me working out in the gym. Like, you can't see it because I have on a pretty floppy blazer, but I have serious biceps, triceps, serious quads, glutes. I'm strong.
That's
my core strength is strong.
Which phase as women get older?
You
become
need
brittle.
it.
Yeah.
It's your muscles are your biggest longevity system in your body.
Agreed.
So I want the combination of all of that strength, that focus, that determination. And another thing that I really like about it is that it makes my voice sound like me to myself.
Okay.
I feel very confident.
Okay.
And well-centered in myself and resourceful and strong and turned on and horny and competent and directed and muscly and, I feel in some ways that I have all the benefits of masculinity and femininity in one person.
Yes.
And why wouldn't you, as a human, whether it's a man who wants to allow himself to have more emotion, which he got robbed of by our culture.
That's right.
Because the only thing boys are allowed to do is show anger and victimhood.
Yep.
This is the work of Dr. Terry Real. He talks about how we've done such a disservice to our little boys.
I agree.
Don't cry, all that kind of stuff. I like men who are equally feminine and masculine, just like I like myself being equally feminine and masculine.
So important.
I'm not interested in playing roles. I'm interested in being my authentic, true, and full expression of myself.
I love that.
In every moment with every person that I am with.
Yeah.
And I choose the people who surround me wisely because
Very important.
they love everything about me, and I
that.
don't have to think before I talk.
Yes.
I can be myself and you will love me.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about turning myself inside out to be loved by a person.
Yeah.
I just am lovable exactly who I am.
I love that.
And so I think that's nice about being in your 60s.
Yes.
Is that 60s on HRT is fantastic.
Wow.
I'm having the best orgasms. I have fantastic relationships. I'm completely myself. I've got confidence.
Yeah.
All of these things come from maturity, mastery, and just focusing on topping up hormones, longevity, muscle, eating well, sleeping well, all the things we talked about for the 4 factors of longevity.
Of course.
And I just think all of that stuff is really good. And there's one more thing I love about being in my 60s.
Yes.
So it's oxytocin.
Okay.
I have such a loving heart at my age right now. One of the things that I'm not afraid to do is love.
Okay.
Fully and completely.
That's beautiful.
I spent a lot of my life being afraid to fully love because I didn't want to be hurt.
Yes.
And now I know I can withstand any hurt because the love that I appreciated was worth the pain I'll feel from the longing or the sadness or the loss or the hurt or what have you. It's not worth it to avoid love. When you start to really love deeply, your life is so much better. You love people, you love art, music, food, family, friends. It expands your heart. And it was oxytocin that was really the kind of the trigger for me. And oxytocin is a very interesting hormone. It's the hormone of bonding, but it's also the hormone of awe and appreciation.
Okay.
It's heart expanding.
Yes.
It's also a very calming hormone in that when you run when you have, high adrenaline and you're kind of edgy and flighty, the oxytocin has a calming attenuation on that.
Yes.
And that's another reason why fighting for your sex life is so important.
Absolutely.
Because when you take your pleasure, when you allow yourself to surrender to your pleasure, when you figure out how to pleasure and be pleasured through literally just learning techniques. And I'm going to give you some resources for this.
Yes.
Learning techniques helps you begin to feel the pleasure. Then you can relax and take the pleasure. That reboots your nervous system.
Yes.
But the thing is that almost all of us have had to take antibiotics for one thing or another.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
The bacteria in our gut that makes the oxytocin is a bacteria. It's a lactobacillus, Lactobacillus reuteri. And Lactobacillus reuteri is so interesting because if you repopulate your gut with that probiotic and then you start having good lovemaking, you start generating tons of oxytocin and you love everybody more. You're less annoyed by everyone. I honestly think that a lot more people would not have to rely on anxiolytics, anxiety meds, because we get anxious when we feel pressured and pushed and frustrated.
Absolutely.
But if we had oxytocin restored in our gut and then we have good sex, you're just more resilient to the bullshit.
Yeah. And that's a really good point because that's been my personal focus. I'm working with a nutritionist now, like repopulating my gut because I was getting tons of yeast infections, not feeling good, bloated, inflammation. And that's where the more research I do, like you just said, that's where it all comes from.
Yes.
So tell me, how did you find out, because I think that's another taboo that I love that you broke, how you needed, or did you choose that you needed the hormone replacement therapy? Did you get tested? How did you go about that? And is oxytocin something you added on or you found that naturally?
I added it on. And you can take what's called exogenous oxytocin, which is exogenous means you get it from outside your body and you put it in. Endogenous means you make it yourself. You can get exogenous oxytocin like in a nasal spray or a vaginal serum or things like that. But what I like is to make it myself.
Oh, incredible.
I like to make as much as I can. I also like to make as much testosterone as I can.
Yes.
When I work out in the gym, I generate a lot of my own testosterone.
Right.
You feel like, rawr.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about working out is the testosterone that it gives me.
Never
So
are
good.
not satisfied after a workout. It's hard to get there.
Exactly.
You're always like, whoa, I feel incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a therapy session.
That's why I have a trainer, because I have to go.
I know, you have to go. I
That's
agree.
why I love it. And he's so good, and he works me out harder than I'd ever work myself out.
Of course,
I want to
amazing.
just outsource that whole thing myself.
I know.
And I'm lucky that I can. Not everyone can, and I acknowledge that.
Yes.
But I started out working with a functional doctor 25 years ago.
Amazing.
And said, I was familiar with the Wiley protocol, which was, remember Suzanne Summers? She recently passed away.
Yes.
She really made the Wiley protocol popular, and that was Dr. Wiley she was a disciple of Jonathan T. Wright. Jonathan Wright was kind of like the doctor who really put hormone replacement on the map here in America.
Okay.
He studied the ancient Taoists who used to collect urine and dry it and then take the metabolites, the hormones out of the pee for longevity. The ancient Taoists did a lot of work around longevity, and one of the things they discovered was hormones.
Yes.
They didn't know what it was, but that's what they were doing.
Right.
And so Jonathan Wright invented it. Then Dr. Wiley turned it into, well, what if we just keep our systems topped up like we're 20 or 30,
Yes.
how will that do for us?
Yeah.
And that was kind of my era, was being aware of this. And I went to a doctor that was an early functional doctor. She put me on hormone replacement.
Incredible.
And I've just been doing it for 25 years.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women are seeking that now
Yeah.
and understanding, including myself, that there's more than modern scientific medicine,
Yeah.
functional medicine so important. And knowing that, you know, we go to the doctor and they do, you know, your typical blood work, and we don't know those things, like what's missing hormonally, what we may need, what's going to make us feel better.
You can throw
and there's
it in
a lot.
ChatGPT.
It's, I mean, now, but that's the whole thing. Incredible that you had that so many years ago, that you knew and that you sought it, because that's really new still. And I think that's part of the taboo, like the hormone replacement, and are we going to sound like a man, and are we going to have hair in weird places, and so people don't do it.
I titrate my testosterone.
Okay.
So one of the things that I do is I have a compounded testosterone in a compounded shea butter cream. And I put it on my clitoris, but I also will put it on the insides of my arm or the insides of my thigh or on my belly.
How
And what I
interesting.
do is I keep myself topped up to the chin hair point.
Got it.
So if I get, well, I actually get a mustache hair. I'll get a
I mean,
little.
we all do.
I get a little black hair there, or I
and
get
then
a
you're
little
like,
bit
I'm
of
done. Take it
acne
back.
there,
Yes.
and I just back off a little bit.
That's brilliant.
I keep myself right to that point, and I can tell. I'll get obnoxious. I'll start cursing.
Okay.
If I get a little too much testosterone, I'll
Got
be like,
it.
F this and F that and F
Makes
that. One of my
sense.
friends was like, you're F-bombing your brains out right now. I'm like, I've been working out every day this week and taking too much testosterone, and I'm just
Right.
dropping F-bombs like crazy. I got to
Yes.
dial it back. So you begin to see this. You begin to find your balance with all of these things.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think that's so important.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Please.
The oxytocin. Where do you get the lactobacillus reuteri? So anything that I talk about on this show, I always put all the links at drivedesire.com.
Amazing.
And it's a company called Oxyceutics. It's a
Okay.
heart. They spell it weird. So that's why I've always put the links in one place
Please,
for
amazing.
everything.
And we will link it.
And you can either just take the probiotic, but what I do is I culture my own yogurt. I make my own homemade yogurt because I make smoothies in the morning.
Okay.
And so I make my own nut milk with the almond cow nut milk maker.
Amazing.
Because it's so much better than all the thickeners and the
Yep.
garbage and
Yep.
the plastic
Yep.
and all that stuff. Really easy to make nut milk. It's nuts and water. I put a little coconut shredded in there, grind it up. I've got my nut milk. Then I have my homemade yogurt.
Incredible.
And it's full of lactobacillus
Yep.
reuteri. So that's how I repopulated my gut.
I love that.
Was I make my own yogurt, and
Yeah.
it's so tasty, and
That's
it's
incredible.
fantastic for cooking, and it's creamy, and it's delicious. And for vaginal issues, if you're struggling with vaginal microbiome, Lactobacillus crispatus is a very good probiotic, and Oxyceutics makes that as well.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and you can make yogurt out of that, and it's even creamier and wonderful.
Wow,
Yeah, and you remember?
incredible.
Did your mother ever put yogurt in her vagina?
Yes.
Right. So this yogurt,
Women don't know, but yes, I've heard
this
that
was
from many
this was
women.
A grandmother
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
That's what we used to do. And then there's another thing too, and that is Foria has this product called Melts, and
Yes.
I have this thing called a pleasure protocol, and it's a combination of 3 things that work together from their brand.
Okay.
And it's at pleasureprotocol.com. It's also at drivedesire.com, and it's 3 things. First thing it is something called Melts. They're these little vaginal inserts that have cocoa butter and CBD.
Yes.
You pop it right in your vagina, and it just melts in there, and it coats the vaginal lining.
Amazing. No irritation.
No irritation.
Incredible.
And cocoa butter has oleic acid, which is what
Yes.
your vaginal microbiome wants to eat.
Yep.
So you're feeding it a good thing.
That's awesome.
And you're getting that healing pleasure pathway of the endocannabinoid system activated.
Okay.
And it engorges that tissue and makes it real plump and fluffy.
That makes so much sense.
Then you put their awaken arousal oil on the outer labia and the clitoral structures.
Amazing.
And then they have a sex oil, which you can use for all the slide and glide you want and just reapply as you go.
Got it.
I think those three things are really nice. And sometimes if I've had a big lovemaking sesh with my husband, because I recently, I'm going to say like 6 or 7 years ago, I really mastered the art of cowgirl. Me on top.
Okay.
And I love it. And
Yeah, I do
often
too.
it's the place that I want to start.
Okay.
And I'd like to close this. I know we're coming to an end, and I want to close with some of my non-negotiables
Please.
around my sexuality.
Please.
Because I think that if your listeners and viewers hear mine, they may not be the ones that they need, but it'll empower them to think about what theirs are.
Yes, please.
So one of the things that I love about the melts is that if I have a big cowgirl sesh where I'm really on my husband, going crazy on him,
Yep.
screaming in his ear, yelling and moaning, having
Amazing.
lots of orgasms,
Yes.
using his tool for my pleasure.
Yes.
Then
I love that.
the next day I might be like, whoo,
Right.
that was a lot, and those melts feel good in there.
Oh,
they help
how
with
wonderful.
that too.
Got it. That makes
Because
so much
CBD
sense.
is good
Yes.
for a little topical pain relief, if you will. It's not
Yes,
like
that
it's
makes
not
so much
painful.
sense.
It's just
No,
that I'm
of
like
course.
aware that I went to town on Daddy-O.
Yes, absolutely. That's the
and
truth.
I'm so proud of myself for being able to do that because I was pretty much just a starfish for most of my
Right,
sex life
right.
starting out until
Yeah.
I started getting more confidence and getting good and learning skills and trying new things and all that stuff. So one of my non-negotiables, which is interesting because I was raped repeatedly as a child by my stepfather. And, I've done so much work to move through that, but you can never completely get rid of the trauma.
No.
It is in you for life.
I'm also a woman of trauma. You can't. You
can't.
No.
So you have to find compensatory mechanisms to make your sex good. And one for me is that I like to do the penetrating. So I'm in control of
okay.
when my husband enters me.
Yes.
And cowgirl works well for me
Yes.
because I can slide down
Yep.
at my time frame.
That makes sense.
Because even making love with him for 20 or 30 years, I would feel like when he would enter me, it would just
Yeah.
for a second, and I'd have to recover from it. And then I was like, well, what if I do the
Brilliant.
movement?
Yes.
That helped me a lot.
You took
And
charge.
so like, what is it that can help you? Another one of my kind of non-negotiables is that when I'm done, whether he's achieved his climax or not, I don't owe him that.
I love that.
He can masturbate.
Yes.
And they do all the time. And I
Yeah.
support his masturbatory practice.
Right.
I want him to have that. It supports his prostate health long term,
Yes.
right? Men who ejaculate more frequently live longer.
Yeah.
So, and I married him. He's a little younger, which is good too. So I'm trying to double prevent myself.
Amazing.
So when I'm done, I'm done. And my husband doesn't get mad.
Yes.
Because we've moved from duty booty
Yep.
to passionate lovemaking.
Yes, I love that.
And sometimes I'm just tired and I want to go to sleep and I'm complete.
Yeah.
And he's fine with it now. Like he's got a
Incredible.
maturity about that he doesn't get grumbly.
Yes.
So that's another one. And then
And that comes from talking and respect and that's important. I'm sorry that I cut you off, but
Oh, that's all right.
I'm hearing all of these important key points, talking about it, understanding, respecting, like that's all part of the bedroom. And a lot of us are just not comfortable having that conversation. And that's why I love this conversation, because sometimes a position doesn't feel good and you don't want to say anything. And then you're
I
just
stop.
incredible.
I say it doesn't feel good.
I
Let's
didn't
stop.
used to, and that's a problem. And I know
Yeah.
a lot of women aren't.
I know.
And then they're literally hurting themselves.
Yes.
And I've heard a therapist once say, like, you are literally, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Like, you're basically raping yourself.
Yes.
Because it doesn't feel good.
Right.
You're not saying anything. It's not their fault. They have no idea.
Yeah.
But we're kind of taught to be timid and just kind of do it and not find what feels good to us. So thank you for that.
I call it a reset. It's my third non-negotiable.
Okay.
And that is, and probably I should have done it in that different order. One for me was I do the penetration because that helps me with my trauma.
Yes.
The second one is I take resets where if we're doing something and it's no longer feeling good to me, I say, let's take a break.
Okay.
We take a break. And then when I'm ready to start again, I come up with what I'd like to do instead.
That's incredible.
Or I ask my husband, what do you think might be fun next? And we do a lot of different things during our lovemaking, but we almost always, pretty much always start with yoni massage.
Okay.
Where I lie down and butterfly my legs open.
Yes.
And he gets beside me and he uses the Foria oils that I talked about. And he rubs my yoni. And then we have a couple of toys that I like. There's one called the Queen and one called Enhance. They're at drivedesire.com.
Amazing.
They're vulval massage tools that feel really good.
Incredible.
And so if your husband uses his hands and these tools, it will really help with the engorgement and the turn on and the arousal, and you'll have a few orgasms before you even start doing anything else.
Amazing.
And so I like to be held, talk about my day, get out of my head and into my body. Then I like yoni massage. Then I like to do whatever I feel like, oral pleasuring, lovemaking, different positions, whatever it might be. I use a lot of toys in my sexuality too.
Amazing.
We use a lot of different types of toys. I gave you guys the Luxus.
Yes.
I don't know if you tried it yet.
You know, it's funny because we are still trying to figure out how to use it.
Oh, I'll tell you. I have it right here. Why don't I
Please.
show you?
And also another thing that I love that you said, and I think another stigma I want to have you help me break.
Yeah.
How, because this was something that came to me when I used to like bring a vibrator into bed. I would think that it was going to make him feel bad because then, you know, like, oh, well, he can't do it, so I need to give him help. How do you help? Maybe some men do feel that way. Like, how do you break that stigma?
Yeah, that's insecurity.
Okay.
And they think that if they can't give you the orgasm, then there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
And so really what you have to do is you have to delve into what is making him feel insecure.
Okay.
And why, when he uses tools in every other aspect of his life, he wouldn't use them to extend and enhance your pleasure.
I love that.
And that the more that you actually use tools, this one is a particularly interesting one. This is the Lioness, and it helps you. It has a Bluetooth app, and it'll measure. It's nice because it's a vibrator. It's internal and external, so it's clitoral, and it gets the G spot and that other little sponge down at the bottom.
That's awesome.
And it'll tell you the duration, the length, the intensity, and the type of orgasms you have, and it measures your pelvic contractions, which you've been doing pelvic therapy, and this is a very good tool for you to show your improvement.
How fantastic.
And
what is it called again?
It's called Lioness.
The line, and that's on your
Drive Desire.
Unbelievable. Okay.
And I love this. This is a women-owned tool.
I love
and
that.
This is really helpful for women to start to learn how to activate all that tissue in our vulvovaginal system, in our yoni.
Amazing.
So that it all comes online, so that our brain, which is our biggest sex organ, can perceive the pleasure.
Yes.
But let me show you how to use this, because I sent this to you after I did my show with Leo, it was 3 or 4 months ago probably.
Yes, let's learn together,
What's
please.
so interesting about this particular thing is that it has a couple of different options. The first is that it's a really good, I like it because it's like, to me, it's like the penultimate intercourse tool.
Okay.
So it comes with 2 ways you can attach it.
Okay.
You have to buy the harness separately.
Got
it doesn't
it.
come with it, but I highly recommend getting the harness.
The harness, okay.
So and I gave you one. I sent this to you.
Got it. Amazing.
So you can either put it in this little harness.
Oh, so because I have the harness, so it doesn't come with it. Just so everyone knows, it doesn't come with this.
You have to add it in your cart.
Understood. Perfect.
So this
Good to
is
know.
the harness, and this is the toy that goes in it, but it also comes with these little silicone pads that attach on. You can take it off and you can put it in the harness. And then the way that it works is, I'm going to put the pad back on for a second because I want to show you the alternative way to use it.
Cool.
This is my current.
I mean, I'll be honest, I was a little intimidated. So it's been sitting there. So I love this conversation because
I'm glad I came back to show you how to use it.
Please.
Yes. So
Show
this
us.
is interesting. You peel this little thing off. You peel this little plastic off. And this is the silicone, and it will stick. And it'll stick a few times. And it comes with a few of them in the box.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
pretend this is your mons, and here's your vagina down here. I'm going to hold my hand up to the camera. That might help too. So this is your vagina down here, and here it is up here, and this little beak, if you will, goes right down on the clitoral hood and the clitoral tip.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
And so then your husband, boyfriend, person, whatever, puts this on their penis. This you put on Leo.
Okay.
And this is a proximity sensor. It's actually a magnet. So that whether you have it on the harness and you're wearing it with the harness, which it's nice because this is silicone, so you can get lube on it and it washes.
Does that go like around your legs?
Right
you wear
around
it
your,
literally.
You
got
wear it
it.
around your
Totally
hips.
get it. Okay.
And so you can take this little thing off and just put it in the harness.
Understood.
And when he's making love to you, as he's coming closer to you, it makes the vibration get more intense.
How cool.
And what's really nice about it is that as he's going like this to you, and maybe he's doing some shallow strokes and then he's doing some deep strokes, right? It's intensifying as he gets closer to you.
Cool.
And it makes your body, when it goes away, it makes your body reach for it so you come better.
I love that.
And then this pad, you can wear this in your panties. You can put this right on your body and wear it in your panties. And it comes with an app.
Oh, that's
and the
fun.
app, you could give it to Leo. He can take you out to dinner and he can give you orgasms or warm up your yoni before dinner. And then you can go home and make love.
And there it is.
And that, so it's both app driven as well as harness wearing option.
Thank you
for
sharing. No, that's incredible.
I mean,
there it is. It took me years. When I was a teenager, I guess because of full of hormones, I was okay masturbating.
Yeah.
And then it kind of went away. And I feel like
Is it coming back now?
It is.
Good.
And I use, I'm sure you've heard it, the Aria box.
I don't know it. Aria box?
Aria box.
No, tell me about it.
So I hope that I'm saying it right. I'm almost positive it's Aria.
Okay.
But it is a intimacy box that comes once a month.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's very fun.
Yeah.
And they email you with scenes.
Yeah.
So it tells you how to use it.
Oh, yeah.
Toys.
Yes.
Blindfolds. Yeah. I mean, almost everything. And you can role play and it shows you how to use it and what to say and what to do.
Yeah.
So I started that a little while ago.
Yeah.
And it was exciting.
It is fun.
I was like, oh, cool, our box is here. What's inside? And it comes with little cards, an intimacy deck or dice and it became really fun because it took the pressure off of me, took the pressure off of Leo, needing to introduce it because we weren't quite like ready to talk about it. So like, oh, here, this box came. Ooh, let's use it.
Yes.
So that introduced me to toys because a lot of it in the beginning was for women.
Good.
And I find really like, it sounds cliche, but I really notice like you don't use it, you lose it. Like the more that
you can always get it back.
You can always get it back.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important.
Yeah.
And you have to want to put in the work, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
But being comfortable. And I think that society, you know, trauma, like we mentioned in the beginning, like it takes that from you. It definitely took it from me. And finding myself again, you know, and I love saying that, like, I wasn't lost, I wasn't broken.
Yeah.
But I found really at 37, like who I really am.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful, you know, like, yes, Benny can say like, wow, it's a really long time, but it was lots of therapy, lots of all different types of therapy, including getting your, you know, emails and being comfortable with that and pelvic floor therapy. I really speak to her about if there's an issue and hearing other women having a space where we make it okay.
Yeah.
Touch yourself, enjoy yourself. And, you know, my pelvic floor therapist, thankfully, is like, Daniela, put on candles for yourself. Do a bubble bath for yourself. And I really took myself out of it. And now finding it again, trying different toys and you know, exploring, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's only going to get better.
I love that.
It keeps getting better.
I'm so excited to hear that.
You do not age out of hot sex.
I love that.
There's no way.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because I do think that a lot of women do go through perimenopause, menopause, and you don't feel like yourself. And that also takes away from, feeling hot, feeling wanted, and just feeling in general. Like, I didn't realize how much I literally was not feeling good.
Yeah.
And thank God, I'm like, wow, okay, that was blocking me.
Yeah.
And there's so many things. And I love the final takeaway that I took was the organ is here for women.
Right. It's your brain.
The brain.
It's what makes you feel.
Yes.
It's mechanoreceptors, corpuscles, nerve endings, all these different cells in your body that send the signals to your brain that it's pleasure.
And that is so key because it goes back to talking softly, talking kindly. My love language is words of affirmation.
I love them.
Because of trauma, self-worth, appreciation, I need to hear
me too.
I did a good job. I'm enough.
Yeah.
And when I feel that fills my cup.
Yeah, mine
and then
too.
I can offer it. And
I think generally
I love that.
all women. There's this thing about praise kink. Oh, I have a praise kink. I'm like, praise is not a kink.
No.
Kinks are little things that some people like that not everybody likes.
Yes.
Everybody likes praise.
Everybody
we
likes praise.
need it.
It's beautiful. And that keeps the intimacy, that keeps the connection. And I truly find having a conversation with you, having a conversation with your partner, it just brings you closer.
Definitely.
And I know that it's not easy. And that's why this space exists. And I hope that someone found this helpful and comes to you and finds your things. And thank you for sharing all your knowledge.
My pleasure.
I think even, I was thinking about it the whole time. It's better that you're not a coach or, it's one-on-one because
I can reach more people.
You reach more people.
Yeah.
And I thank you. There's
My
not,
work is first your self-guidance.
Yes, and
you
there's
take it and
not
you learn.
enough women, people who are open enough to share that and say, I know that this is missing. I'm here to give it to you. And I think you're incredible. And
there's a lot of us out there. The problem is we're always censored.
And you
Thank
know what?
you for having me.
Send me more because I have so many
will.
questions. And please come back from California. I want to see you again. I have so many more questions. I think that a safe space where women can feel comfortable and know that
there's nothing wrong with us.
There's nothing wrong with us.
Yeah.
Because, there's all these things and we're to this and we're to that and we're to whatever. We're not. We are just right.
We're perfect. We're beautiful at every age.
Amen.
Our vaginas, our vulvas, our yonis are gorgeous throughout our whole lives.
Yes.
They don't fade. They blossom.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And thank you for being here. Thank you for
pleasure.
sharing with me.
I've loved it.
Oh, I love this conversation. I can do this over and over because I feel young again. And I'm sure it keeps you feeling young. And that's the whole point. There is this huge component of we're go, fight or flight all day long.
Take your pleasure.
Take your pleasure.
Ask for what you want.
Incredible. And know what you want. That was big for me. What did I like? What speed?
Yeah.
What, how much force? How much whatever? But not saying it is traumatizing also.
Yeah.
And I think that is, for me, the takeaway. But I want you to please share with my audience 2 or 3 things in this camera here.
Yeah.
What are the key things if they're finding someone like you or don't even know they need that?
Yeah.
What can you offer to women?
Yeah. Well, I would say the number one thing would be if you're in the place of, I don't know what I want, I just know what I'm getting's not it, then my Sexual Soulmate Pact, which is at sexualsoulmatepact.com, is really, really a good thing to begin with. Because until you can listen to yourself and have the confidence to speak up and know that your partner's going to willingly listen and not shut down or check out like they're doing something wrong, that's what this technique does. It gets you, it's kind of this ninja technique that helps your male partner, if you have a male partner, really take in your course corrections as helping them love you better. And so it's probably the very first thing I'd start with. And then the second thing would be, I would really start with probably just simply getting on my newsletter, which is at betterlover.com. I send it out 2 days a week. Every newsletter has a technique in it for free and some of the products that I love. And it's a really good place to start your journey of expanding your sexual mastery for a lifetime of pleasure.
Incredible. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And those are the most beautiful things, the connection and find what you like. I love that. Thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Daniela.
Please follow, like, subscribe, click the bell. Have any questions, let us know. Drop a comment. Please find Susan. Tell us where they can find you.
You can find me at betterlover.com, and you can find me on Instagram at Susan Bratton, Bratton.
Incredible. And we'll link everything. Everyone
you.
needs to find you.
Thank
You
you.
are an incredible woman.
You're
and
so precious. Thank you.
We thank you. Every woman thanks you. And it's just a space that we need. And you make it comfortable and you make it real and accessible. And thank you for being here. It was amazing.
Love you.
See you soon.
Bye.